Oh, hi, y'all. Welcome to Nikki's World, where my podcast show will give you viewpoints and insight that others will not give. I'll talk about like what's current, what's on the news, what is out there, and I will always cite sources and I always cite facts and news links so y'all know what I'm actually talking about. I give you my viewpoints and opinions, and if you want to hear what I have to say, what's on my mind and all that, I let y'all into my world and let y'all hear and listen to what I'm thinking and what's going through my mind. So if you love stuff like that, tune into Nikki's World twice a week, where you'll get 2-3 podcast episodes a week on what I talk about and what's on my mind. So thanks for listening, and let's get on with the show, ladies and gentlemen. What's up, y'all? Let's do this. Hi guys, welcome to Nikki's World. I'm Nikki, your host, and today, guys, we gotta talk about the dangerous world that we live in. And quite frankly, guys, we are living in a dangerous world right now, and the world is getting more dangerous by the fucking minute with the way the lunatic left is going about things today, man. Today, the world is so dangerous that everybody needs to be armed. Everybody. And we're going to talk about that and so much more. But before we go any further, guys, if you guys love Nikki's World so much, seriously, y'all, seriously, can y'all please consider donating a cup of coffee for me? Because for the price of a cup of coffee at Starbucks, Dunkin' Donuts, and Cumberland Farms, guys, you guys help keep this podcast show alive. You guys help me curate more stories, more topics like this to talk about. I do accept Bitcoin donations. I am on Locals, guys. If you guys want to support and sponsor Nikki's World, that's where I also post behind the scenes contents, and that's where I sometimes live cast as well. And also, guys, if you guys love Nikki's World so much, seriously, y'all, please hit that like, subscribe, please give me a review, good, bad, and the ugly. Also, guys, I do have affiliate links, including my ID, which I have on my right wrist, which is a medical alert bracelet. So if you guys want to shop for the same medical alert bracelet that I have, you guys can go on to myid.com in the link in the description below. And before we get this show on the road, if you guys love this episode and any of my other episodes on Nikki's World, seriously, y'all, seriously, please consider sharing this across all the social media platforms that are out there today. Wow. Yeah. Oh yeah. That is a mouthful, and clearly a mouthful. So anyway, guys, it's Saturday, so basically it's Saturday night podcasting to y'all. Had to go to work this afternoon, come back home, diaper change into a fresh, clean one, and then now I'm here, diapered up and ready to podcast to y'all. But as far as things, it's been typical of a Saturday work day. It has been. So anyway, let's get on with the show, shall we? One thing I want to talk about is how the world is getting so dangerous these days. It is, man. It is. You have violent rhetoric protesters. Oh my God. These violent leftist protesters having their temper tantrum about Hamas and Palestine, and these violent leftists have latched on to Hamas and Palestine and Gaza, and I'm like, let me see. Lunatic leftists who have never left outside of their mommy's basement, let alone outside of their college campus, outside of the country, have no freaking clue about what Hamas is, what Gaza is, let alone can't even find Gaza on the map, and they're chanting, supporting pro-Palestine, pro-Gaza, and pro-Hamas. And these are the violent leftists that want to take over the world? I'm sorry. When did we allow these lunatic, mentally insane leftists to run the world? Because I don't want them running the world. Fuck you. Seriously, fuck you. Because you know why? You have lunatic leftists who basically want to destroy the world instead of running it in the process. Yeah, pretty much, guys. Pretty much. But the fact of the matter is, guys, we are seeing a powder keg about to go off in this country. And that fuse is getting smaller and smaller and smaller. It's not getting longer. It's getting smaller and smaller and smaller to the point where if that powder keg goes off, there's no putting the genie back in the damn bottle here, ladies and gentlemen. There's no way you're putting that genie back in the bottle. Because you know why? Look at the way the left is right now these days. Look at how violent their rhetoric is these days. Look at their rhetoric that is misguided, that is delusional, that is mentally insane, mentally unhinged. Look at where they're going with things. For example, you have them shutting down Grand Central Station in New York City, protesting for what? A ceasefire in Israel, pro Hamas, pro-Palestinian, pro-Gaza. They're chanting songs of River to the Sea, basically from Jordan River to the Mediterranean Sea, by chanting that Israel should be wiped off the map. I'm sorry. When I think of white supremacist, neo-Nazi I'm thinking KKK, but nowadays I'm thinking more of the violent white liberal college educated who probably took gender studies and probably works at Starbucks as a neo-Nazi. That's what I'm thinking, ladies and gentlemen. That's what I'm thinking out there. But the fact of the matter is, you got violent leftists who are supporting a known terrorist group, Hamas, who in 2 seconds would probably throw them off the building. Yeah. In 2 seconds, Hamas would just toss them off the building. And they would still chant and support them as they're being tossed over the building. I sit there and I go like this, ladies and gentlemen. These violent leftists who are chanting pro-Hamas, pro-Palestinian, have any of these teachers, professors, give them an actual history lesson, or instead of a woke history lesson? I mean, have they? This is why people need to be exposed to worldviews. People need to be exposed to the outside world, not insulated. But the problem is, guys, you got violent leftists, okay, who are chanting death to Israel, anti-Semitic comments and all that. I'm like this, folks. We have a communist infiltration problem in this country. We do. We have a problem with leftist woke communist teachers teaching our kids to hate this country, to hate people. And then they gaslight you and accuse you of hating people when they're the ones that are actually hating people. It's like what I say all the time in my show, guys. Whenever a leftist accuses you of doing the things that they're doing, they're gaslighting, and they're what? You know the drill, right? They are gaslighting you, they are accusing you, and they are deflecting. Because you know why? They want to go like this. They want to accuse you of the very thing that they're doing, so you won't be able to fight back. It's that simple. But the fact of the matter is, guys, you got violent protests, okay? Like this one. 7,000 pro-Palestinian protesters take over Brooklyn Bridge, call for the elimination of the Jewish state by any means. Folks, that's the definition of anti-Semitism right there. That is the definition of anti-Semitism. Anti-Jewish hate right there. That is, ladies and gentlemen, 7,000 pro-Palestinian protesters taking over the entire Brooklyn Bridge, calling for the elimination of the Jewish state? Oh my Lord. Oh my Lord. Now imagine, replace Jewish in Israel with what? A white heterosexual or a white gay state? I tell you what, the left would have a freaking nuclear meltdown if it was one of their own protected class. But since it's a Jewish in Israel, it's full on blown white supremacist, neo-Nazi, KKK style hatred. And you thought the KKK was bad. I'm telling you, man, the KKK got rebranded into like basically like white liberal college kids who go to like elite liberal schools like NYU, Columbia, Yale, Harvard, and the list goes on, okay? But seriously, these white liberals who are chanting in support of Hamas and knowing Hamas's charter is to wipe out Israel and subjugate women and basically throw LGBTQ people off the building, and these people are chanting in support of them? I'm like this. Am I living in the episode of the Twilight Zone, ladies and gentlemen? Am I in some episode of the Twilight Zone? Because it seems to me that the left is trying to champion the cause of Hamas, but they gloss over the obvious that Hamas routinely tosses gay people over the building and kills them and subjugates women as property and basically make them wear like a Muslim head covering from head to toe, or they cover their entire head but leave their face open. And the left is championing a cause for that? I'm like, in a normal fucking sane world, we would not give these lunatics the time of day. We would laugh at them and go like that. We would mock the living fucking daylights out of them. We would mock them so badly that they would have a fucking freaking nuclear meltdown. They would. But the problem is, these people are chanting pro-Hamas, and some of them are wearing face diapers. I'm like this, ladies and gentlemen. I'm like this. The left is a new form of schizophrenia. And I thought schizophrenics were bad enough. No, the left makes schizophrenia look like a normalcy, ladies and gentlemen. It does. It really does. Because look at the current left in this country. The current left, like, pushing pro-Hamas, even when Hamas would just like execute the liberal and toss the gays over the building. I'm telling you, the people on the left have really flunked world history, have really flunked it. And it makes you wonder why they don't teach that, or they don't make that as a requirement to even graduate college, that you learn world history or world civilization, that you know about, that or you have some grasp knowledge about it. But the problem is that these people, these violent leftists, are supporting known terrorists who in a heartbeat would kill them. And it boggles my mind why these people would support them, knowing that they would be killed in a fucking instant. It basically like baffles me that these leftists who would support a terrorist organization that seeks to kill them, that seeks to overthrow them, okay, that seeks to basically destroy Israel, okay, that literally that literally would throw gay people over the building and stone women to death if they don't cover their head. Telling you, ladies and gentlemen. I'm telling you, folks. Is this the mentally insane left that we're having to deal with? You know, my solution to all this, ladies and gentlemen, you know all those prisons that we're closing down because the left wants to go soft on crime? Fuck this. We need to reopen them and use that to house all the lunatic left, all the mentally insane left, because they need to be in prison. They need to be in prison and never be allowed out in polite society. It's that simple, folks. It is that simple. Because the lunatic left deserves to be in prison. And they at least need to be in prison for at least what? I'm going to give a nice even number. 6 years. 6 to 10 years. Give them that much time in prison. They'll shape up and wise up. You know what I mean? Seriously. And then you have protesters like sitting at the 50-yard line delaying a game and protesting over like pro-Hamas, pro-Palestine, pro-Gaza. I'm like, folks, these people are not to be taken seriously. These people are to be laughed at, mocked at, ridiculed. Bring back public shaming. Bring back public ridicule. You have to, man. Bring back like basically common sense. Laugh at these people. Mock them. You know what I mean? Mock them till they have a fucking freaking nuclear meltdown. Okay? Mock them. I mean, seriously. And then also, I want to talk about this story from Gateway Pundit, okay? Video brawl breaks out after Hamas sympathizer viciously assaults pro-Israel protester trying to stop another scumbag from burning Israel's flag during the pro-Hamas rally at Tulane University. I'm going to say this, ladies and gentlemen. Colleges are no longer a safe place to go to school anymore. Because you know why? You have violent, radical leftists who are pro-trans, pro-pedophilia, pro-grooming, pro-Hamas, pro-Gaza, pro-Palestinian. Ladies and gentlemen, I wouldn't even think about going to a college. Okay, I'm lucky I went to college and graduated before all this whole shit blew over. But I'm telling you this right now. Colleges are not a safe place to get educated anymore. With the way the violent left is right now, colleges ain't. With them being pro-trans, you know what I mean? Them having a hissy fit, a temper tantrum, a whiny temper tantrum like a fucking 2-year-old. If a conservative speaker like Charlie Kirk or Matt Walsh or Dinesh D'Souza shows up to give a speech or give a presentation, they riot, protest, have a temper tantrum and a meltdown because they don't like hearing fucking different opinions. I go like this. Some of these people who don't like to hear different viewpoints and opinions, their mommy and daddy should take a belt and belt whip the fucking daylights out of these kids. There, I said it. Their parents should take the belt, the pan, or whatever is within arm's reach and beat them senseless. Beat some common sense senseless. into these kids. Because I'm telling you right now, I'm telling you this. Schools that are teaching these kids to hate, my tax dollars should not be going to it. And if I were a legislator, like at a state level, I would ban any program that is funded to teach people to hate another group. To teach people that one group is better than the other group. And any school that does that, their teachers and professors and university presidents, all the way down to the board of trustees, would be fired by the end of the day. It would. But the one thing is, ladies and gentlemen, what happened over there at Tulane University, y'all need to get armed. Y'all need to be armed. And I see a lot of Jewish students and Jewish people rushing to the gun store, looking to buy guns, getting pistol permits, getting trained because of the violent rhetoric, the violent anti-Semitic rhetoric from the left. Telling you, man, we're getting to that point right now, ladies and gentlemen. We're getting to that point where pretty soon everybody's going to be armed like those people in Alaska. And I'll tell you this, those people up in the cold Alaska, they are more armed than half the population of the lower 48 states. And people up in Alaska, they're armed for a fucking good reason. It's not to deal with the violent left, and the left would never survive up in Alaska. We all know that. Okay? You know why? You know why people up in Alaska are armed? It's because they have to worry about the grizzly bear, the black bears, and the polar bears. Any of those bears, you go take out the trash in Alaska, next thing you know, you see a polar bear there or a grizzly bear. You don't have a gun to protect yourself, you're done. It's that simple. But same thing here in the lower 48. You need something to protect yourself. Because against these violent leftists, these leftists who are supporting a terrorist that would kill them in a heartbeat, I'm telling you guys, I'm telling you this right now. You need to be armed. You need to be armed. You need to protect yourself. You really do. You really do. You seriously need to protect yourself. Because I'm telling you this. You could be in a situation like this. I'll give you a scenario. And this is a what if scenario, ladies and gentlemen. You could be out shopping at a mall or like say in the center of town, and all of a sudden a protest breaks out, and a protest like say a pro-Hamas, pro-Palestinian, or pro-Gaza protest breaks out in the center of town, but you need to escape, okay? Because of the fact that these protesters getting violent and they're having their temper tantrum like a fucking 5-year-old. You need something. Okay? You need something. Okay? I don't care if it's a baton, a collapsible baton. I don't care if it's a bully club or a nightstick or pepper spray or less than lethal, like say a pepper ball gun or a burner. Or even if you live in a state where you can defend yourself and you have a right to just stand your ground, a concealed carry permit. You need that because judging by the violent rhetoric from the left, I'm telling you guys, we live in a fucking dangerous world. We live in a world right now where the left, one disagreement, they could have a fucking temper tantrum in front of your face and try to get in your face like a violent kid. This is why, ladies and gentlemen, I'm all for whatever means necessary to protect yourself. Whatever means that you can carry legally under the law to protect yourself. Because the way the left is right now, I'm going to tell you right now, the way the left is, from the Branch Covidians to the mask cult to the, to the anti-Semitic left and to the anti-gun nut left, telling you guys, you need to arm yourself. You need to defend yourself. Because I'm going to say this. There ain't nobody coming to save your ass. There ain't no one coming to save your ass. Government ain't gonna save your ass. No matter how nice they try to say it. Government ain't gonna save your ass. It ain't, no matter how much they say it, no matter how much they sugarcoat it. Government ain't gonna save your ass. They ain't. And it's good drink. And believe me, they ain't, guys. Because you know why? Government, all they cares about is themselves. Is their own skin. That's it. That's all they care about. They don't care about you, the American citizen, you, the American taxpayer, you, the American voter. They don't. All they care about is themselves. That's all they care about. They don't care the fact that they have to answer to the voters and to the citizens. They don't. So that's why I tell people this. You need to arm yourself. If you have to, I'll say for this. If you live in a state that you cannot carry a concealed weapons permit for a myriad of reasons, I'm not going to go through them all, but I'll just say for reasons that, like, say that you can only be allowed to have lethal defense for home, but you can't have lethal defense around you as a person. My advice, ladies and gentlemen, carry a burner. Carry it like a pepper ball gun. Because I'm telling you right now, at least it meets the bare minimum for personal defense. At least. The most desirable is having a concealed carry permit, being able to carry like a Glock, a SIG, a 9mm, or a 357 or a 45 caliber. If you can get that, that'd be great. But a burner would be the barest minimum. A taser would be the second bare minimum. But the bare basic minimum would probably be a burner. Taser would be like number 2. You know what I mean? Less like lethal would be number 3, but only if you live in a state that has, like, say, stand your ground laws and strong self-defense laws. But if you live in a state where self-defense laws are sketchy, a burner would probably be your best bet. Because in light of how violent, how unpredictable the left is in this country, carry at least something. It's better than nothing in my book. It's like, it's better to carry something rather than nothing at all. Because I'm going to tell you this right now. At least you have something that you can use readily, immediately to defend yourself in case you're caught up in, say, a leftist protest or a leftist riot, you know what I mean? In case of that, you have something that you can legally, within the confines of the law, to defend yourself. Because I'm telling you this right now, guys. I'm telling you this. The way the left is going at these things right now with their pro-Hamas, pro-Palestinian, anti-Jewish protests, including going after like Jewish students or Jewish people for their religion or for whatever they are. You need something, man. You need something, because to have nothing, it is as bad as having nothing at all. It is bad. But having at least a bare minimum would be better than having nothing at all. I say like this. At least having a burner to protect you in the event of hostilities, okay? In the event of like encountering hostilities, is better than having to whip out a phone and then record what they're doing to you as they're beating the shit or trying to knock you out and rob you blind. At least it's better than having to whip out and record while they're assaulting, beating, robbing, rape, mugging you. It's better. It's the bare minimum, but it's the bare basic minimum. Now going to the standard, which is what? A concealed carry permit. But the fact of the matter is, guys, we live in a dangerous world. We live in a dangerous world. I'll give you one example, guys. This article from the Post Millennial: masked bandits crash an Alfa Romeo on an LA freeway, staged armed robbery of driver. Basically, these people intentionally crashed the car, okay? Robbed the guy and took off with everything. It's a prime example of why people need to be armed. People need to be armed. Because I'm telling you, right now, guys, I'm telling you, what happened to that person whose car crashed in a staged robbery is a prime example, guys, that the world you knew it after 9/11 no longer exists anymore, guys. I'm sad to say this, guys. On the day of 9/11, on the 9/11 terrorist attacks, okay? Basically, guys, we no longer live in the world we once knew. Because I'm telling you, guys, on September 11, 2001, guys, the world we knew no longer exists. It doesn't. And after 2001, the world we knew, that's long ago. That passed long ago. Now in 2023, with the violent rhetoric like this, I'm telling you guys, we're getting to that point where people need to be armed. People need to defend themselves. People need to literally be able to defend themselves. Okay? We need to. Like that brawl that broke out at Tulane University over the pro-Palestinian group burning an Israeli flag and beating up a Jewish student for trying to defend the Israeli flag? If only he had a burner, he would have at least blew a magazine of tear gas right in their faces and made the place so hostile for them to come in. Telling you, man. Telling you. We gotta protect ourselves, man, because government ain't gonna protect your ass. Hell no. Government's not gonna help you, not gonna defend you. You need to, because there's no help coming to rescue you. There's nobody coming to save you. And I'm telling you this, ladies and gentlemen, there is no one coming to back you up. There is no one. Nada. Zip. Zilch. Nada. There is none. Okay? There's none. The world is getting very dangerous, getting very crazy. And we all need whatever it takes to defend yourself, whether taking judo or karate as self-defense, getting a pistol permit or concealed carry permit like I have, or getting like a less than lethal weapons like, say, the burner. We need whatever it takes to defend ourselves. We need to. We really, really do. And the way the world is right now, like I said, guys, the world I knew after September 11, 2001 no longer exists. Okay? It no longer exists. All right, guys? So that's why I say like this, guys. I say like this. You need whatever it takes to defend yourself. You really do. You really do. And seriously, man, seriously, the world right now is a crazy place. Because I'm telling you, man, we do not live in normal, sane world. We don't live there anymore, and it is as crazy as you can get. So anyway, I want to talk about this article from the CT Mirror. And CT Mirror, guys, is a leftist progressive Democrat newsletter. And it's a progressive Democrat news site. And you know me, I like to read what the left is talking about. Okay? Because that's how you gain intelligence on them. All right? There's an article in the CT Mirror, okay? New Haven homeless encampment installed tiny houses, okay? So what happened is like this. In New Haven, Connecticut, they have a problem with the homeless, okay? And many people and groups were trying to come up with solutions to solve it. So one group, set up a tiny home village to solve the homeless crisis. And the city of New Haven sent a cease and desist letter saying that, you can't build a tiny house home to solve the homeless crisis. Because what? The city of New Haven hates fucking competition. They hate the fact that one group is trying to solve a crisis in this country, but local government is infringing on this group and basically saying, no, you cannot do this. You got to let local government do this. You're taking away our job. No. The people it's like this. There's a group known as the Rosette Village Neighborhood Collective. Okay? It's a group that was fighting to start a tiny house village. And they're trying to help solve, basically a homeless crisis. All right? The problem is, ladies and gentlemen, is that you have people in the city of New Haven, Connecticut, including that New Haven mayor, who is all upset that, oh, this group beat me to the punch. This group did something that my local government should have been doing. Well, you know what? I want to say this to the fucking New Haven mayor's face. Get off your fucking ass, work with these people, solve the problem, instead of fucking getting in their way saying, oh, we're going to send a cease and desist letter. We're going to shut them down. We're going to send the building department after them. Fucking work with these people. Get the problem done. Instead of being a fucking roadblock. This is the problem I see with progressive Democrats. Okay? This is especially progressive Democrats in Connecticut. Okay? When one group tries to solve a problem and comes up with a solution, and then local government hates it, they shut them down. They tried to use every legal maneuver in the book to shut them down by saying, oh, it violates city building ordinances. I'm gonna say this. If tiny houses help solve the homeless problem, I'm all for it. Build many of them. Heck, we got empty lots. We got abandoned factories that we can raise down, turn them into tiny home villages to help house the homeless. But yet, ladies and gentlemen, you have a city who is trying to stop a neighborhood group who came up with a solution to solve the problem. But instead of helping them and saying, what can we do to help you guys get this going? What can we do? What the mayor in New Haven went full-blown authoritarian and demanded that this group stop housing the homeless in it. I'm like, is the mayor not thinking outside of the box? Is the mayor not coming up with a solution, but instead wants to line the pockets of the people who are claiming to help solve the homeless problem? But instead of coming up with a solution, they come up with bureaucracy after bureaucracy after bureaucracy after bureaucracy. This is why, ladies and gentlemen, Robert Kennedy Jr., he's coming out with solutions to the problem. You don't see Biden, Trump, or any other Republican or Democrat candidate coming out with their solution, selling their solution by saying, look, I can do better. I can do better than this guy. My solution to solve this problem. Here's how I would solve this problem. Only presidential candidate I know is coming up with this is Robert Kennedy Jr. But you got this mayor in New Haven who is shutting down a group who's setting up a tiny house village to help solve the homeless crisis in this country. And instead of meeting with the group and helping them either fund it or helping them expand it, no, the mayor of New Haven threatened them and told them to shut it down or we'll take you to court. I sometimes say like this. We don't send We don't send our best and brightest to represent us. We send our dumb and smart idiots to represent us. Or as we call it, the stupid smart people. We don't send the smart common sense folks. Because I often say this, common sense, logic, and reasoning, those are the three rarest skills that this generation has never seen. And if you're one of those people who have logic, reasoning, and common sense skills, you're a gold mine to everyone. You're a gold mine. The problem is, ladies and gentlemen, is that you have city officials who are upset that they didn't come up with this problem. They didn't solve this problem. That they didn't get their name in front of the Hartford Courant or the local news media saying that they were the ones that solved it. They're upset about it. Instead of approaching this group and saying, what can we do to help you get this going? We'll help you fund it. We'll help you fund it. But instead sending a cease and desist, I'm like, this is why we have the most ineffective government in this country. We have ineffective government at the local, state, and federal levels, ladies and gentlemen, where we have stupid smart people running this whole gamut and basically running it to the ground, and by the time all said and done, it's literally destroyed. It is. It is, ladies and gentlemen. It is. But the fact of the matter is, ladies and gentlemen, we have an incompetent government. We have an inept, incompetent government in this country. We really do, guys. We really do. It never phases me, folks. It never does, man. That you see a city government threatening a group for doing something to help solve the problem when the city or the state didn't even bother to do in the first place. But it took a local neighborhood group to solve a problem? Folks, politics needs to go back to the local neighborhood. Politics needs to go back to the local, to right down to your neighborhood level. Politics needs to go right down to the neighborhood level. Because the fact of the matter is, man, you have a sitting mayor in New Haven, Connecticut, who wants to shut down a group for starting a tiny home village and solving a homeless crisis, and the mayor's upset that he's not getting any credit for it? Someone needs to smack that mayor upside the fucking head. Someone or his secretary needs to slap some reality into his face and say, look, this one group is solving a crisis and you didn't bother to do anything to help them, and you want to shut them down? That's like a kid getting angry that he didn't get included in a group, and he wants to shut them down because he didn't get included. I'm telling you, man. The mayor needs to stop bickering and get his head out of his ass. The mayor of New Haven, Connecticut, needs to get his head out of his ass. Stop fighting against this group. Start helping this group. If this group got an idea that helps solve the the homeless crisis in your town and it's working, stop getting in the way. Let them do it. Get the fuck out of the way. It's that simple. If it works, we'll take it to the state level and say, look, we got a way we can help solve the homeless crisis. All your empty lots, we can turn them into tiny house villages. It's that simple. But you got a mayor in New Haven who wants to stop this group. And according to this article in the CT Mirror, which I am going to link in the description below, you got this mayor by the name of Justin Elliker who said on Thursday the city has sent a cease and desist letter demanding that they either come to the conversation with city officials or go through the legal process by getting permits and zoning variances or take the structures down. Mayor Justin Ecker of New Haven, you're a fucking asshole. You are a fucking prick and an asshole. It's that simple. Hell, if one group in my hometown or a neighboring hometown of mine wants to start a tiny house village, I'd be all supportive of it. If it helps solve the homeless crisis, if it helps alleviate the overflow in homeless shelters and gives these people temporary shelter that leads them into permanent housing and stable job, I'm all for it. I'm all for it. I really am. But you got that New Haven mayor, Justin Elkerson, who's having a hissy fit because he didn't get there first to solve the problem. Holy fucking cow. Yeah, ladies and gentlemen. It's a holy fucking cow moment. It is, guys. It really is. The fact that you got this mayor who's bullying this neighborhood, who started a tiny house village to help solve a homeless problem and is bullying him. Boy, if I was a legislator in his district and he was in my district, I'd walk up into his office and I'd tell him, you end this shit or I'll end him in Hartford. And I do it the legislative way. It's that simple. We have idiots. I always say like this. I always say this analogy. The smart common sense folks are always punished and put at the bottom of the barrel, while the stupid smart people are always elevated to the top. We live in a bizarre world. It should be the other way around, where the smart common sense folks are elevated to the top and the stupid smart ones are at the bottom of the fucking barrel. It's that simple, guys. It is. It's really that simple. But the fact of the matter is, my state of Connecticut is run by village idiots. I can't stress that enough. We have a state full of village idiots. We really do, guys. We really do. There's no ways around it. My state is full of village idiots. It really does. It really. But that's why I like this. My state needs to turn red, or at least conservative. If it doesn't, it's a fucking lost cause. It is, guys. It is. Wow. Wow. Almost an hour full of show. I gave you all an hour. Wow. Gave you all an hour of my opinions, viewpoints, and beliefs. Wow. But at the same time, wow, I'm shocked. My diaper held throughout the entire show. Wow. That's North Shore for you guys. That is. And before we go, guys, if you guys are interested in buying North Shore Megamax diapers or any incontinent products from North Shore, I'll include my discount code in the link in the description below, guys. So if you're interested, you guys can copy that link or click on that link below, and it will take you to North Shore Incontinence products. All right. So anyway, guys, I thank you guys for listening to Nikki's World. I'm Nikki, your host. I will see y'all soon. Y'all have a good day, and bye for now. You just listened to an episode of Nikki's World. Thanks for listening. We'll see y'all soon. Bye for now.